Tailfin racks and AeroPacks work by replacing the axle of your rear wheel with a specifically designed axle of our own. It's the main reason why our systems work with the majority of bikes, even if you don't have dedicated rack mounts. If you want to use a Tailfin system, you will need to know exactly which Tailfin axle you need to order. On the surface, this can be a slightly confusing process, but in this video, I'm going to run you through the process of choosing your axle, whether you need any specific adapters, and finally how to install the axle to your bike. Tailfin axles provide a secure connection point between rack and AeroPack and enable riders with bikes that don't have dedicated frame mounts to attach a rear luggage system to their bike. A further advantage of our system is it takes all the load away from your frame and therefore is safe to use even if you've got a super light carbon road bike. And what makes a Tailfin axle unique compared to all other bolt-through or quick-release axles are the extended connector points for a Tailfin system at the end of each of the axle. So how do I choose which axle is best for yourself? Well, this is where the difficulty can start. If you have a quick-release system on your bike, I've got some good news. There is only one choice of axle. So all you need to do is choose that one, install it, and you're ready to go. If you have a bolt-through system on your bike, this is where the difficulty can lie. The first thing you need to do in terms of the process of finding out which axle to choose is to take out the existing axle on your bike. Then, if you're lucky, you might find that the axle is printed with some information. This information is vital for you to find out which of the axles will fit your bike. You are looking for thread pitch. So this will be something which will end with a P and then a number. This will often correspond to one of 4 different versions. And we produce bolt-through axles to cover 4 of the most common thread pitch ends. That's 1mm, 1mm speed release, which is mainly for Cannondale bikes, 1.5 and 1.75mm. Sadly, not every axle is printed with information. But luckily, this is where our axle finder comes into play. On our website and linked down below in the description, you'll find our axle finder. This is a handy drop-down menu which will allow you to choose from your bike brand, your bike model, and the year of manufacture to tell you exactly which axle and adapters you will need to purchase in order to fit a Tailfin system. Some bike brands and models might need additional adapters in order to fit a Tailfin axle correctly. For example, Santa Cruz and Open require an external 1mm lock ring. Some Salsa bikes require a domed nut, and we also provide an adapter to allow you to use a SRAM UDH and our Tailfin axle together. The simplest way to find out if your bike requires additional adapters is to use our axle finder menu. This will tell you exactly what you require. We've tried to make our axle finder as comprehensive as possible, but there are times when bike brands and models might be missing. If your bike isn't included, please get in contact with our customer service team and they'll be happy to help. Our universal through axle features a modular design. You will need to choose the correct thread pitch end, and then once you've done that, you will need to assemble the parts before you can install it to your bike. If you're riding a mountain bike with boost rear spacing, you will also need to use the additional 15mm spacer as well as the 2 end parts of the axle. Once you've identified the correct thread pitch ends, you need to attach this part to the other part of the universal axle. First of all, thread it together. This can take quite a while, it's a long thread. Once you've got to this point, take your 2 5mm hex keys and fit into the ends of the axle and tighten up fully, but don't over tighten as this can flare out the axle, which can jam with some hub bodies. Once your universal axle is together, you can follow the standard procedure to install it into your bike. Hopefully this video has helped you to understand how to choose and use a Tailfin axle. If you have more questions, please put them in the comments section below. And don't forget to head to our website, tailfin.cc, to find out more about our products or for more advice and help.